What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. There we go. There's the right button. You guys, happy Friday. Welcome to KO Comedy. This is a very special night, you guys. That's right. Tonight is the first official Comedy in English takeover. It is back. It is happening. It is back on Comedy, and we are super excited. That's right. Michael Magid will be here later in the evening. That's right. I know it's our first night with Comedy in English, and he's hung up. He won't be here for a little while, but that's okay. We're still gonna keep this show going. But yeah, you guys, I am your tech tonight. I'm Annie Dies a lot. I'm gonna go over just a few things that everybody at home can do to help this show go nice and smooth. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go. The very first thing that you can do, this is specifically for those of you that are here in the Zoom room, is turn on those mics and cameras, you guys. Come on, it definitely helps the show out if we can see your reactions, if we can hear your reactions. Make sure you're in a quiet location, of course. But yes, definitely present yourself. We know this is the internet, so if you don't want to, if you want to remain anonymous, that is absolutely fine. But if you look at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a reactions button. Go ahead and use those reactions, you guys. Still helps the show out quite a bit. And let's see. Oh, you're watching over on Twitch, or Words Are Hard over on YouTube. You guys, welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You are all welcome to come be a part of the Zoom room. That's right. We like people here. We like everybody here. It's pretty easy. Go to kocomedy.com. Sign up for the email. You will receive a link not only for this show, but for all of the rest of our shows throughout the week. You guys, we have a lot going on. We're here every day, streaming over on Comedy Hub. Sometimes we have Zoom exclusive shows. You guys, for instance, Twitch, YouTube, are you with me? You guys, when this show seems like it's over, it's not really, because we're going to keep the after party going on. That's right. It's going down. It is a Zoom exclusive. The after party with Bianca Red will continue right here in the Zoom room. You guys will have tomorrow. This will be on Twitch and on YouTube, but the Jackie Mo Show, if you want to come hang out in the Zoom room, you're welcome to do that as well. Also, you guys, Sunday, we've got KO Sunday with Casey McNeil. It's going down. Lana Siebel will be here. Kelly Zemnikis, Linda Kameko, Sherry Linick, Teal Pierce, your host, Casey McNeil. I'll be doing the same spiel too that on Sunday. That's right. And you guys, next Friday, we got a great show lined up for you. Michael Magid is back with Comedy in English. We've got Casey Conley, Luz Michelle, Desiree Walsh, and Lorna Batters and Sarah Green will be hosting the after party. You guys, lots of reasons to go sign up for that email. Come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun over here. Let's see. I'm sure there's more things I want to say. That's right. There are more things I want to say. If you are here in the Zoom room and you want to see what's happening over on Twitch, go for it. Twitch.tv/Comedy Hub is where you can find the channel. We stream shows every day of the week, lots of KO comedy shows, but we also have some podcasts that aren't on KO Comedy. So come check us out sometime. Twitch.tv/Comedy Hub. You don't even have to interact. You can just have it on in the background and listen. We have a blast over there. That being said, you guys, we also have the world's worst AI comedian over on Twitch. That's right, Laughing Larry. He is there. He's god awful. He's god awful. Is Laughing Larry not working right now? Oh no, you guys, this just in. For some reason, Laughing Larry is not responding in the chat. He really is a god awful comedian, you guys. He's terrible. Abigail Hydrangea Brown, welcome. We will try to get Laughing Larry up by tomorrow. Unfortunately, his handler is not here right now. We'll get Jay on that as soon as he gets in tonight. All right, you guys. We got some really awesome comedians for you tonight. They're amazing, and you are so welcome. It's a free comedy show. What? That's right. It's free. It's free. That being said, we still go ahead and ask you guys that you support everyone that you see tonight. The best way you can do that is by giving them a follow. During everyone's sets, I'm going to go ahead and flash our Instagram handles both on my screen and down in the chat. And if you miss them, that's okay. Wait around a few minutes afterwards. I'll flash them again on my screen. Give them a follow. See if they have new content, if they're performing near you. Help out their algorithm. It's free. It's free. Also, we won't say no if you want to donate. That's right, you guys. We do take Venmo at KO-comedy. We also take PayPal, KOComedyShows at gmail.com. And if you are watching on Twitch, you guys, we take those bits as well. We do. And you guys, we aren't just going to take your money. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. We're going to go ahead and give you a shout out. That's right. If you want to stay anonymous, just leave a note with your donation. But yes, we're going to give you a shout out, you guys. This month, it's a spooky month. It's October. We're going to put your name up on the board. That's right. As you see, every time we get a donation, I'm going to go ahead and find a spooky picture that speaks to me about you and slap your name on it. That's right. As you can see, William Reynolds has been donating this month. William likes his name on bongs, so I've been finding spooky bongs for William. Abigail H. Brown, she likes toads. She likes frogs, so I've been finding spooky frogs. Sarah Green got a pipe because Sarah, she likes to smoke it up. Andre and Lorna, Lorna is from Scotland, so that's a Scottish Terrier. And here's an anonymous fan. He's mooning us with pumpkins. That's right, you guys. That's what we will do for you. If you feel like donating, that's right. And if you don't, that's fine. It is not obligatory. Thanks for just being here, you guys. Thank you so much. And let's see. I think there's really only one more thing that everybody can do to help this show go nice and smoothly. It's the most important thing. Let's enjoy the show. This is a comedy show, guys. Should be having fun. All right. I think that is enough of me. We're done with me, right? Are we ready to get to some comedy? Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Mike is ready, and guess what, you guys? That's all that's important to me is if Mike is ready. Mike is ready. We're gonna make this happen. I see William's ready for some comedy, and like I said, you guys, it's totally fine to keep your mic and cameras off. Just give us some reactions. That's totally cool. All right, you guys, I am very excited for your first comedian tonight. He has come highly recommended from one of our regulars, Kelly Zemnikis. We all love her here. She is hilarious. And with that, I'm going to give it up for the person that I am most excited to hear for because I haven't heard his jokes yet. You guys, give it up for the absolutely amazing. So I have been told, you don't let me down. You guys, it's Dan Rosen. Let's go.
Woo. Hi, everybody. It's Dan Rosen. Hi. Woo. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming here. I'm Kelly Zemnikis' horribly racist friend, so I'm very excited for that recommendation. No, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks so much. As Annie said, my name is Dan Rosen. It's the Jewish version of John Smith. It's a very Jewish name. You'll see it all over Jewish Tinder, which is a real thing. I don't know if they have it where down in the States it's called J Swipe. Yeah, I didn't think the Jews wanted to be swiped anymore, but hey, when you want to find a good husband, right? There's like a lot of these Jewish dating apps. There's J Swipe, and then there's J Date, or as I call it, plenty of gefilte fish. There's also it's weird because like Judaism is actually like a low key sexy religion. My rabbi, she was holding these different like Jewish culture classes, and we had one on like sexuality, and there's even like a ranking on which like sex positions are more holy. Like there is like a holiest sex position. I don't know if anyone has any guesses of what like the holiest sex position is according to Judaism. No worries. Some people
Missionary.
Pardon?
Missionary.
That's right, Mimi, you're right, missionary. Even though traditionally missionary is not so nice to the Jews, but it is, missionary because you're making eye contact. I know a lot of people say doggy style because like it's primal, but yeah, so it's like missionary. And there's even like a holiest day to have sex, which is like we have like Shabbat, which is our like Saturday or like Friday night or whatever. If you have it's considered a double mitzvah, like it's extra holy if you have sex on your day off. Give her the old Shabbat shtup and you get right with God. You're not the only one who's getting off. But yeah, it's a sexy religion. I am married, as I've mentioned. So having, I've got a wife, and she's great. She's wonderful. But like, it was a very weird, like we moved very quickly. Like we got married after a year, and we got engaged after a year, married after a year and a half. We moved very fast, and friends were like, whoa, why'd you move so fast? And it's because 3 weeks in, I went on what I thought was just going to be like a simple coffee date. And then all of a sudden she starts pulling out this like Rolodex of questions for me. And then I'm like, oh shit, this isn't a date. This is a husband job interview. And like, I'm terrible with interviews. Like, that's why I'm a comedian. Like, any asshole can do this. But I did nail this interview. I did very well on every question except for one, which is, how many kids do you want to have? Because I was like, I think with the help of someone more competent than me, I could maybe keep one tiny human alive for a few years. And she was like, no, wrong answer. It's two, a boy and a girl. I'm like, but how can you plan for that? She's like, a boy and a girl and a white picket fence. And I'm like, well, diapers are cheaper than lumber. So let's try the baby thing first. So we have, and like, it's very, like, so it was very weird. And also like, we had a very weird introduction. So like her friend her cousin, who's a good friend of mine, and also another comedian, she introduced us. And so for me, I was like, oh shit, like, she's a manager in her job. She's got upward mobility. I was like, oh, I better wear like something with buttons for this date. And for her, she was like, oh, he's a clown. This will be a fun joke. I'll go on this date as a joke. And so that's how our relationship started off, as a joke. But joke's on her. She's married to a clown. So who's got the last laugh now, Carrie? A little bit more about me is you maybe can't see it. I'm 5'10", 145 pounds. It's very anemic chic. No special diet to keep this, keep the weight off. Just 27 years of incurable bowel disease. Don't need any special diet when everything gives you chronic diarrhea. This is why I love online shows. Like I'm actually on the toilet right now. You can't see it, but that's sort of, the convenience. I just have my like at home, like performance toilet that I do all my Zoom shows from. It's great. And I kill two birds with one stone. So if you see me, if I'm grunting, it's not because I'm bombing. It's because, I'm working through something. It's funny because like I was like really isolating a lot during the pandemic. So then when I finally saw friends, they're like, whoa, Dan, have you lost weight? And I was like, well, I did recently lose muscle mass. And they're like, no, you've got like a 6-pack now. I'm like, oh, stop. That's just the way my skin hangs off my intestines. Because it is this like weird, super painful, like horrible disease, and all the symptoms are fart and poop related. It is the whoopee cushion of chronic illness. Like it is a joke disease, like a painful joke. But it's fun. But I've found a way to relate to my wife because, as I said, we got engaged on our first year anniversary where, I proposed. She said yes. And then she pulled the bed covers over my head and let out the worst fart you'd ever smelled. It was like one of those ones you can taste. Yeah. Yeah. So, and he's like, oh, ooh. And I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're my favorite person in the whole world. You're the best. Because if your partner's hiding their farts from you, then what else are they hiding? Am I right? Like some side piece action they're getting, some insurance scam to pay the bills. But the person who farts in front of you, they're saying, I'm ready for an open, honest relationship. Honestly, like if you're not farting in front of each other after 6 months, like the relationship's done. That's a fling at best. Like that's going nowhere. But like my parents just had their 44th anniversary, and you go over to their condo and you can smell the love. Like, and they smell more love every day. Like it's really like a beautiful relationship that like, you don't smell roses, but you smell love. Well, and so even though like I'm the one who usually gets sick, my wife did get sick at the beginning of COVID. She had this like parasite that was sapping the life out of her. Not me, like in addition to me, like a parasite inside her body that was like sapping her nutrients, making her nauseous. And the doctor said like, oh wait, it can get removed, but it has to come out your vagina. Yeah, the medical term for this is pregnancy. whenever I say this, there's always like one or two women who are like, "Oh yeah, he's probably talking about pregnancy," and then guys who are like, "Oh shit, a vagina parasite. Can we get that if we don't use a condom?" Right? It was wild. Like I was going through all her symptoms on our Flow app, and it was like all the worst symptoms of Crohn's disease, but in that first trimester. Like she had an acute case of pregnancy. Like it honestly looked like the most painful STD I've ever seen. Like it is a rough illness, and like when you go to the doctors, they keep they'll like always like every ultrasound, there's a different problem that they just casually throw at you, where they'll be like, oh, the baby looks fine. Everything's great. Looks healthy. Yolk sac is a little misshapen, but everything's fine. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, my wife has a yolk sac inside of her, like an egg, like brunch. And they're like, yeah, 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 but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry. And then the next trimester, the next ultrasound, I'm like, oh, what about the yolk sac? And they're like, yolk sac? No, the yolk, that's gone. That's old news. But we just can't find the face right now. And I'm like, oh. But like, there will be a face, right? Like, when he comes out, like there will be a face. Is that like the last thing to form? Like the baby comes out, and then like their eyes, like I'm hoping for a face at some point, like at least by his fourth birthday or something. So like there's a lot of during this time, I thought a lot about abortion. Not because like I wanted to get rid of it or anything like that, but if like people like me, if people with a dick had to give birth, like abortions would be three for a buck at the dollar store. Like they'd be the cheapest thing everywhere. And like Nestle would probably make an abortion chocolate bar and it would be delicious and it would come like free in a 2 for at New Year's Eve. Cause like whatever, fuck it, it's New Year's Eve. I'm not wearing a condom, right? Like Louisiana was going to have an abortion is murder law, and like there's like states that are doing stuff like that already, which is crazy. But there, I do think there should be some sort of like pregnancy murder law. For example, like my wife, one of her best friends had this boss who was like the kind of person who would always say like, "Oh, what are you doing on your period, sweetheart?" Like every time she disagreed with him, like even when she was pregnant, like he didn't understand basic female anatomy, like his poor wife. Uh, and so I think in that case, you know, the police comes in, they find his body on the floor in his office, letter opener in his chest, and then witnesses are like, look, he called her sweetheart 3 times, and then boom, his body hit the floor. They'd be like, all right, open and shut case. That's her one. You get one murder per trimester. That's what I think. That's what I'd be, if I was, Kamala or Trump, that would be my platform right there that I'd be running with. Anyways, in lighter notes, it is like we're really happy, grateful to have our little bundle of joy, our sweet little parasite. And there's so many great milestones, like there'll be, like the first time, your first time crawling, first time walking, first time talking, first time, getting a face altering scar, like all those sorts of things. But what people don't tell you is that like the vast majority of the like firsts and the milestones are all like pee and poo related. My whole life right now is first 4 years of this kid's life. It's all been like pee and poo related. Like first time he shat on the carpet, first time I had to like wipe poo off the wall with my bare hands. Like, Daddy, look, I'm peeing. That's great, son. Maybe next time, not on the ottoman. He had a really unique first time he pooed in the potty. We were visiting my in-laws who live in like the Vancouver area, and they're like right along the river there. And so like we're on their back patio, and he wanted to have privacy, so he takes his little potty and he goes around the bush, so he hides it from us, and he sits on the potty and he poos, and he's so excited, and he's able to do it, so he has privacy from us. The tour boat coming down the river, however, got like a full view of our kid's first dump in a toilet. And so like 20 Japanese tourists like went back home with a video of like this like traditional Canadian custom where we just make our kids shit by the river in front of everyone as like a sign of growth into manhood. Like that was his big rite of passage for all those tourists. He made a lot of very interesting vacation photos for people. We are also, like, my wife and I were older. Like I'm in my late 30s. She's 40 now, and so we like it wasn't the easiest getting him. I thought he'd come quickly because I come quickly. But it took a lot. We had to do a lot of different like fertility tests and so on. My wife, she had so many things she had to go through. Like she had to do laparoscopies, sonograms, all the have like all kinds of things shoved up her like vagina, and like all kinds of different ultrasounds and tests that like we never heard of before. Like I thought suppositories could only go up your butt, but no, like they can go up any orifice. So she had to do all of this, and I had to jerk off into a jar. That was my contribution. And at first I was like, I don't know, like this is such an awkward thing. I don't know if I want to do that. And then, the lab explained, well, so we can measure your potency and your, how well your sperm move and all that. I'm like, all right, fine. If it's for science, I'll jerk off for science. I don't know if anyone here has been to any of these like public medical cum rooms. I know that's like a vulgar term. The official term is masturbatorium. But the nurse, she takes you in and she like leads you to this like isolated room that has a couch in the middle that looks like it was wrapped by Dexter. And it'll be facing this like DVD player that is like the oldest DVD player. It's like the first DVD player prototype from the 80s. And it's showing like the most like aggressive, like hairy porn from the 80s as well while you do it. And I was like, no, thank you. It's okay. I don't need this. I follow some influencers on Instagram. Like I'll be okay. And so, you go in, you do your thing. And so, I find the Instagram account I like. And then, 7 minutes later, all good. I make my collection. And then the weirdest part after that is they have this little like speakeasy door that you go to where you have to like, you put like your jar on the ledge, and then it's like a little door that you knock on, and then you ring a bell that, like where you go to like, a hotel or something, like ding, service, order up, 30 cc's of semen. Come on, we need to plate this. And so the medical scientist opens it up, and like every time without fail, I'd like forget to pull up my pants. I'd be like, oh right, whoops, sorry, doctor, I still have my junk out. And then it's the first time like a doctor's asked me to pull up my pants. And then so the guy was answering me, and the thing that really killed me is like this guy, he had a thick accent, and like he had a thick Indian accent. So I'm like, man, he came to our country. He's a medical scientist. He's medically trained. He's clearly very intelligent, way more intelligent than I am. Like if there was any justice in the world, like I'd be measuring his cum right now. And so now he's stuck in this room, and I know just like all day, like order up, order up, order up. And I know because in my 7 minutes, I heard 3 other going on. So he's just like out, grabbing like every like semen jar of like white guys come around him. And that's like that was his dream all along. He's like, I'm going to Canada and I'm going to help these impotent Canadians, like have babies. Their population is way too low. They need my help. And this is his missionary service for Canada, in which case, thank you. He's doing the Lord's work. Baruch Hashem. Thanks so much, everybody. This has been great. Great to be here at KO Comedy. Thanks so much, Annie.
Give it up for Dan Rosen, everybody. And definitely, throw him some love, you guys. He's got a kid dealing with poop issues. That's right. It's a time to go through for sure. Thank you so much, Dan. That was fantastic. I agree. Great set, chat. I agree. All right, you guys. We still have some really awesome comedy for you, but before we get there, I got some things I gotta say. Specifically, I got some shout outs. I do. I made a promise. I said, if you guys donate to the show, I'm gonna throw you out on the board. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold to that, you guys. So give it up. That's right. It's time to see which bong he got this week. You guys give it up for William Reynolds dropping $15 on the bong on the board. There we go. That's right. William, we found you a spooky little ghost. Oh my God, it's actually really cute. I would absolutely smoke out of that bong. That's adorable. That's adorable. And you guys, I see some more coming in right now. We'll get to those after your next comedian. But we will definitely keep this show going. If you guys want to get your name on the board, it's super easy, you guys. We take Venmo at KO-comedy. We also take PayPal, KOComedyShows@gmail.com. And if you are watching over on Twitch, you guys, we do take those bits as well. As you can see, we're going to do something fun with it. We're going to throw your name on something spooky. If you want to stay anonymous, just leave me a note when you leave your tip, all right? Pretty easy. And Twitch, I see you guys out there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. YouTube, you guys too. If you guys want to come hang out in here, there's still time left. You still can, and you might just want to because as soon as the lights go off on Comedy Hub, the after party is going down. That's right, it's happening. Bianca Red has trivia for us tonight. Yeah, we like to get loose. We like to learn some things, and a few of us like to drink a little bit. It's a good time, you guys. It's a good time. Also, you guys, tomorrow we've got the Jackie Mo show going down. Sunday, we've got KO Comedy with Casey McNeil. And you guys, next Friday, Michael Magid and Comedy in English is back with Casey Conley, Luz Michelle, and Desiree Walsh. You guys, we got so many reasons for you guys to come out with us. And you can get all the links for all of those shows, the Zoom room links, over at kocomedy.com. And you can also just watch it over on Twitch if you want to. That's pretty easy. Oh, there we go. Twitch.tv/Comedy Hub. And you guys, we appreciate hanging out with all of you. It's always a lot of fun. All right, you guys. Let's get back to the show. You guys came here for comedians, people that can talk. Not me. I'm just your tech. So let's get back to it. All right, you guys. I'm very excited for your next guest tonight. She's been a regular. We've seen her on a lot of the Sunday shows. I think this is the first time you're on our Friday show. I'm so excited. You guys, you can follow her over on Instagram at Laura Tells Jokes. And please give her a follow. Give it up for the amazing, the incredible. You guys, it's Laura Nelson.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. One of the things that Dan said that reminded me of being pregnant is one of the positions that a baby can be in when you're trying to give birth is called frank breech. And that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger playing like the homicide detective in Hawaii. Not like a fetal position. Anyway, my name is Laura, and I am an avid indoorsman. I'm not athletic, but I do buy the tampons with the ladies playing soccer on the box.
Yes.
I belong to a small group of intellectuals who believe snow globes are flat. We are flat snow globers. I like to live vicariously through other people. My best friend is going through a divorce, so I got bangs. It's a joke for the ladies. My husband was so confused. He came home and all his stuff was on the lawn. I don't believe in superstition. It's bad luck. Also, I recently just joined anger management. Not because I'm an angry person. I just really like counting to 10.
Yeah.
Throw pillows are surprisingly sedentary.
Mhm.
This is what I tell jokes. I've been married for, this is what we're doing. I've been married for 12 years. The key to a lasting marriage is not being able to afford a divorce attorney. I've been married so long that I'm slowly actually turning into a single woman. Like now, like I really like cats. I got super into astrology and Tinder. One thing I just found out I'm a quarter Jewish. And let me tell you, that is a quarter I plan on saving. So shoplifting is a crime, I guess. But it's more like crime light or diet crime. Because when I think of shoplifting, I think of teenage girls sneaking some Dr. Pepper lip smackers from CVS or Winona Ryder or very rich Winona Ryder. Fun fact, Winona Ryder is the patron saint of shoplifting.
Mhm.
Crime, I guess I'm saying is crime is a spectrum, right? And gender is a spectrum. So let's do it. Let's gender crime. If I had to gender crime, I would say shoplifting is feminine, she, her. Larceny is masculine, he, him. And check forgery is non-binary, they, them. Check forgery is like wearing clothes from the 1980s and confusing moms at Safeway checkouts the world over. Money laundering is no longer considered women's work, but men still make 30 cents more on the dollar than women, which is tough. Here's something that's never been said. I sure made a lot of the right life choices to end up living on the compound. Yeah. If you live on a compound, I'm sorry. And I'm surprised you have Wi-Fi, I guess, is what I would say. Like, welcome to the outside world. Get out. Okay, so Sharknado is a tornado made of sharks. A bear-nami is a tsunami made of bears. And a McFlurry is soft serve ice cream with bits of candy. I once saw an ice cream machine at McDonald's with a trophy on top of it. And I thought, that better be a participation trophy. I've put on a little bit of weight, or as I call it, the COVID-19. My mom said to me, she said, Laura, you don't look fat. You look content. And it's like, Mom, content is 5 pounds away from jolly. Like, it's getting to a point when I say, I could just eat you up to my kid. It's less of a compliment, more of a threat. Sometimes I get so hungry that I would eat food for thought. I would join QAnon for the donuts. That joke was like much better before it got like way out of hand, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we just throw spaghetti against a wall and then eat it. Malaise sounds like something I wouldn't be opposed to putting on a steak.
Yes.
You get it. You get it. Sounds delicious. I want to eat one of
Does.
these. So, your body doesn't know the difference when you digest it. It doesn't know the difference between a piece of white bread and a piece of cake. So eat the cake. My new life hack is prosciutto on grocery store white cake for lunch. Follow me for more diet tips. I joined AA. I joined Anorexics Anonymous just to feel really good about myself. Hey, everybody, look how well Laura's doing. Even if you're 30 minutes late, guaranteed coffee cake. Guaranteed. If you ever go to Bulimics Anonymous, you'll always be able to find a hair tie. I am trying to lose weight though. I am trying to lose weight, so I'm going on a diet. But you know how diets work? You get cheat days. Yesterday was my cheat day, so I fucked Jeff Goldblum. Potato. I think we can all agree that like potatoes are the sluttiest food. And I'm not saying that because they're from Idaho, but it certainly doesn't help, you know. Potatoes are like the little black dress of cuisine. They go with everything. And I mean everything: poultry, a flaky fish, light treason. I've never said no to a potato. It's always been an enthusiastic yes. And that is a joke for people who are big on consent. Which should be everybody. But that's okay. Water bottles. Oh, I don't have a water bottle anymore. I just have like my giant, big ass Stanley cup. But water bottles have this thing on them. They have this phrase that says bottled at the source. And it's like the source of water, like where hydrogen meets oxygen. Like, do they have trouble meeting? I can imagine like a Hinge profile, like, hey, we're just two fun-loving, covalent bonded hydrogen molecules looking for a matter-of-fact third for a fun, sexy, wet time. It's a molecule joke. Anyway, at Outback Steakhouse, their motto is no rules, just right. But I can tell you decidedly, they have rules. They have rules. People who live in glass houses shouldn't. Dandruff shampoo and puberty. If it's tingling, that means it's working. You ever know? Does anybody play video games?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever notice how when you're in a video game and you come across a huge stash of ammo and weapons, it means something really bad is about to happen?
Yep.
But when that happens in real life, it means the exact same thing. We're coming up on spooky season on Halloween. I think Halloween needs its own Hallmark season of movies, right? Like, he's a hotel mogul who's down on his luck, so he vacations to Rhode Island. She is a Victorian ghost, a timeless love. This fall, don't miss Dead and Breakfast. Or like, she's a big city lawyer who just got a prescription to spend a fall on the family farm. He's a possessed scarecrow that time forgot. We're all ears as this unexpected love is sowed. This October, don't miss Love's Last Straw. And finally, he's a small town lawyer who just lost the election to a golden retriever. He moves to South Carolina to become a lighthouse keeper. She has 3 nightmares in a trench coat. Screaming on Hallmark, love beacons for all. If anybody here knows anybody that works at Hallmark and you want to send me an intro, I won't say no. Some people know this, some people don't. It depends how like into astrology you are. But like on October 31st, the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is as thin as it ever gets. Like peak runway Kate Moss thin for Halloween. And this allows for the dead and the living to communicate. Every June in San Diego, the veil between the Marvel universe and the DC universe is as thin as it ever gets. Like Gambit's playing card thin for Comic-Con. This allows for different subreddits to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So does anybody here have a cat?
Yeah.
Good for you. I could never. Because I'm allergic. But cats have this extra flap of skin in front of their hind legs, and it's called a primordial pouch. And it's like, I have an extra flap of skin in front of my also hind legs, and it's called a mother's apron. Like, how unfair is that? Like, hey, Laura, what's that? It's my mother's apron. I always wear it for the child rearing and the nurturing, and it makes the womanly duties just more stylish and fun. Can't be repressed without my apron. So what I'm saying is what we name things is important. Like, could you imagine, like, hey, Laura, nice swimsuit. What is that? This is my primordial pouch. I created life. Time is a social construct and does not exist. I am the namer of beings and the scissors that cut all apron ties. Women are life. Yeah. That's a real thing. That's, true. What was I going to say? I'm a recovering Catholic. Any other recovering Catholics? Catholicism to me is like an old-fashioned game of telephone, right? Like if you do something wrong, like you need to tell a priest who tells a bishop, who tells a deacon, who tells a cardinal, who tells the Pope, who then has to talk to Jesus and asks him to talk to his dad about it. That's how you do things. When you get confirmed in the Catholic Church, you get to pick your own confirmation name. So most girls will pick Mary or Catherine or Mary Catherine. But I picked Jude after Saint Jude, the patron saint of lost causes, which actually makes St. Jude's Children's Hospital seem like a really poor naming church. Growing up Catholic, we had patron saints for everything. We had a patron saint for lost or misplaced items. It's St. Anthony. You say, St. Anthony, please come around. Something's lost. They can't be found. And speaking of things that you lost in a weird way, I lost Catholicism about the same time I found premarital sex. It was to a guy named Tony who I thought was an Abercrombie and Fitch model, but it turns out he was just one of those guys who stood in front of the mall in the store shirtless. It was really hard to come to that realization. I was like, I'm dating an Abercrombie and Fitch model. And I was like, oh no, you just stand at the mall. What was God's beef with the firstborn? Like as the youngest child, I am offended. Am I not good enough to smite? Um, being a teenager is really hard because you want to fit in and you also want to stand out. I wasn't popular. I don't think any of the popular kids went into stand-up comedy. But I was like flat chested and I was like a tiny little toothpick with glasses walking around. And Victoria's Secret had just come out with this thing called a water bra. And the water bra technology was such that to a 15-year-old boy, if you got felt up during Pearl Harbor, he wouldn't know the difference. I never needed anything more in my entire life. But if it was like laundry day, you went from like a C to an A and hoped that no one would notice. Or like if your prom dress was strapless, like you went to prom, but your boobs stayed home. I ended up working a whole summer my sophomore year as a nature camp counselor to make enough money between freshman and sophomore year to buy one. That was literally my boob job. I will say that whenever God closes a door, it's because he's not trying to heat up the entire neighborhood. That's a joke. I'm never going to be a superhero because both my parents are still alive. But I love real life heroes. Like my grandpa fought in World War II. My uncle Rick fought valiantly in the Mattress Price Wars of 1998. Nobody knows why the Mattress Price Wars started. But maybe it was like a Game of Thrones thing, you know, like the twins look nothing like the king. We lost a lot of good sleep that year. Memory foam, hashtag never forget. So I think ending on a 9/11 Mattress Price Wars joke is really the best that I can offer you. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. I'm going to pass it back to other professional joke tellers.
Give it up for Lauren Nelson, everybody. That was fantastic, Lauren. Thank you so much. Let's see, buttons are hard sometimes. There we go. Buttons. They make this stream go. All right, you guys. Your host is here. He's here. But before we get there, I got another shout out to go to. You guys, we're going to do it again. We're going to give another shout out. Let's make it happen. Okay, let's see. More buttons. There it is. There's the right button. You guys, give it up for one of our amazing viewers over on Twitch. You guys, it's Abigail. Whoops, there we go. Abigail Hydrangea Brown with $10 on the board. Abigail, thank you so much. You're a pumpkin frog. You're a pumpkin frog tonight. That's what we're putting your name on. I thought it was super cute. So we're just going to cover me up with that because that's adorable. Thank you so much, Abigail. We appreciate it. And you guys, there is still time. If you want your name on the board, it's really easy. We take Venmo at KO-comedy. That's one thing that we do. That's right. We also take PayPal. That's another thing. KO Comedy Shows at gmail.com. And if you're watching over on Twitch, you guys, we take those bits as well. And as you see, we're going to go ahead and slap your name on something Halloween inspired for this month. If you want to stay anonymous, you absolutely can. Just leave me a note. When you send that donation over. I'll keep your name off of it, but I'll still post something cute. That's right. It'll happen. Or spooky. So sorry. I was told recently it's not a cute holiday, Annie. It's supposed to be scary, so I'll put your name on something scary. All right, that's fine. All right, you guys. Oh, yeah, while I have your attention, you guys, we still have one more absolutely amazing comedian for you. And then the lights are going off over on Twitch. and over on YouTube. We're turning the show off for the night. But the after party's going to keep on going over here, you guys. That's right. The after party is going down. Bianca Red is here. We got trivia tonight. It's going to be a lot. So definitely come through for that. You guys, tomorrow we've got the Jackie Mo Show. Sunday, KO Comedy with Casey McNeil. Next Friday, Michael Magid in Comedy in English is back with an all-new episode. We've got Casey Connolly, Luz Michelle, Desiree Walsh, and After Party will be going down with Lorna Batters and Sarah Green. So many awesome reasons, you guys, to go. Just sign up for the email, kocomedy.com. Get the links to all those shows. Don't miss out. And if you're here in the Zoom room and you want to go check out twitch.tv/Comedy Hub. We do have podcasts that happen over there as well. So there's more shows than just the shows in the Zoom rooms. So definitely check it out. Lots of fun. All right. That's enough of me. You guys, are we ready to get to your final comedian tonight? Are you guys ready? I can see some. I hear one woo, but I believe that everyone in their hearts are wooing right now. So let's go. Let's go. You guys, your host tonight. Super happy to have him. He's now your Friday night host. You guys, give it up for the absolutely amazing Michael Magid. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, guys. One more time for Annie, guys, putting everything together here. One more time for kocomedy.com. One more time for William Claude Reynolds, who has left the room and has his microphone on mute. And one more time for Mike Eckert waking up. One more time for Mike Eckert. Waking up right now as we speak. I am not going to lie, guys. I am in my car right now. Not driving, being safe. Not driving. I just finished doing a tech roast. That is where tech people pitch their startup ideas to investors, and then comedians roast them during it. And the audience is completely filled with people from the tech industry at LA Tech Week, which means that there is less laughter than on an online comedy show when everyone has their cameras on mute. That's how that works, you guys. It is like performing into the ether, Evil Dave. Exactly. Shout out to Bianca for turning off her camera and her microphone the second I come on here. Lovely. Always quality like that. Interesting thing doing the roast for the people just now. I don't know if anybody here has ever, met people in the tech industry. Not the most socially affable people, really. I'm not going to lie. I'd say that out of the 12 pitches, 8 of them was like, hey, are you lonely? Are you sad? Are you depressed? I'm like, okay, so this is where we're going with all of that right over there. And their solution for being sad and lonely and depressed is to use generative AI to make you a companion, basically. Very, very depressing that's the direction where we're going with our lives here. Shout out to iPhone, who I believe is one of those generative AIs that is watching us right now as we speak. Had another situation where on the show today, on the pitch that was being done right now, one of the presenters, I'm like, I'm familiar with this person. They're like, how do you know this person? I'm like, we dated in 2009. And I'm like, well, that's random that person would be on this panel. And during their pitch, when they showed that they had already gotten $1.5 million in investment in their company, I went, man, I really should have continued on that path right over there, despite the fact that she did not seem the most affable person at that sushi restaurant in 2009. So anyway, that's lovely to see. That's lovely to see. Her pitch was for a platform that is it's a marketplace for underrepresented communities in specific areas of the world and different tasks that are underrepresented by certain communities. And it's kind of like a Mandy for those. And then they said, so Michael, would you like to roast this? I'm like, no, I would like to not get canceled as a cis male. So I think I'm not going to say anything snarky about this. Also, because you still owe me from that sushi in 2009. So I'm going to if you want to be equitable and inclusive, you can pay me back for that sushi. That's how that works right over there. My current girlfriend just texted me and asked me to go up and look at the moon right now. Apparently something's going on with the moon. Bianca, I don't know what this is exactly, but I'm going to check it out. Concerned about doing that because the last time she told me to look at an object in the sky, my eyes started having issues. So I went to the optometrist and they said, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, just kind of seeing these blotches and everything like that." And they're like, "Have you done anything abnormal?" I'm like, "No." I mean, they're like, "What about with the eclipse?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I looked at that." And they said, "Well, did you look at it through protective lenses?" And I said, "No, I looked at it through my iPhone." And he said, "Well, you can't do that. Who told you could do that?" I said, "A 16-year-old on TikTok." So that's not who you should get your advice on how to stare at the sun, guys, is through 16-year-olds on TikTok. That's definitely the thing. I recently was with my mom, and as I was at her house, I started noticing smoke, and I'm like, this is not a good sign. And I went to the toaster oven, and there was a plate inside the toaster oven. My mom had put a plate inside the toaster oven, and I said, "Mom, what are you doing?" I'm like, who told you could do that? And she said, "Oh, Michael, it says microwavable safe." I'm like, this is a toaster, completely different appliance. My concern is that I was getting her an air fryer for Christmas. I don't want her house to burn down, so I'm not going to do that. That's definitely not going to happen. My mom is always posting. I had a situation recently where on Facebook it said, "Congratulations, Michael, you've been friends with Teresa for 9 years." And then my mom said, "Michael, you've known me a lot longer than that." I'm like, "Yeah, but I've actually tolerated you for 9 years." So it is correct. We have been friends for 9 years. Before that, we were not friends. Let's talk about this right over here, guys. I did a show recently, not outside of the tech bubble. I did a show at a location that started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which is not a good time to do a comedy show because even Mike's up at that time. Even Mike Eckert is awake at that time. So that's a good thing. And I said, "Hey," I'm like, "Do you mind closing the blinds so people can't see the sun emanating from outside and people frolicking in a meadow?" And they said, "No, we can't do that." I said, "Why?" They said, "Because we're concerned that the audience will fall asleep." And you're probably like, were you performing to a room full of narcoleptics? No, I was performing at a senior community where the average age was 75 and above in the crowd. And you're probably wondering, how did that go? Well, I said at the beginning, let's do some crowd work. I said, what do you all do for a living? And that got a big response because they thought that was a joke. Here's the craziest thing about that is we had to finish on the dot at 6:30. And I said, "Oh, is there another show that takes place?" I said, "No, that's when Wheel of Fortune comes on." You know what it's like to feel like that you realize that you are the JV event to syndicated television? But it really puts your comedy career in perspective. I'm not going to lie. That is very, very, very true. My mom re-gifted me a gift recently. I don't know if there was anybody ever had somebody re-gift them something. And I told my mom, I said, "Hey, Mom, did you re-gift this?" She says, "No." I'm like, "Mom, it says, 'Happy birthday, Teresa.' It's a gift card. It says, 'Happy birthday, Teresa,' from your friends Arturo and Arnaldo." There's no punchline for that because I forgot that joke. Forgot that's how that works. So that's good. That's why we do these in here, right here. Guys, forgive me. It's 8:10. I'm in my car right now. I've been at the car dealership all day, Bianca. Have you ever been in that situation before? But I brought my car. I brought my lease in, and they said they would not take my lease back because it had been in an accident. And I said, the reason I'm here is because it's been in an accident. I don't want this car anymore. It's an old car. It's an old shitty car. That's the whole reason I got a lease, is so that it gets beat up and then I can turn it in and then you give me a new car. They said that's not how leases work. The way leases work is we scam you out of more money. That's how that works. So they said, I tell you what, we'll buy back your old car for $2,500 down and $399 a month. I'm like, so a higher payment than what I'm paying right now, and I have to give you money right now to get my shitty car. I'm gonna have to read these contracts before I sign them from now on, guys. I should just not drive a car. It's really, yeah. Bianca's like, yep, that's kind of how I should do it. So anyway, I was at a party at my mom's house, and I met a new friend of hers for the first time, and she went, "You're Teresa's son?" I said, "Yeah." From Venezuela? I said, "Yeah, I was born there." And then my mom walks by and she goes, "Yes, but look at him. He's not Latino."
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, "Mom, who are you? College admissions?" Right? Do you know how hard it is to convince people that you're Latino when your mom doesn't even believe you're Latino? So I said to my mom, I said, "Hey, Mom, you were there when I was born." And she went, "I know, Michael, but you were a cesarean birth. So I was asleep. I think they switched him with an Irish boy." My mom thinks I was switched at birth. How much time I got, Annie? I got time for a couple more here?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, fun, wonderful. My mom lives in a town called Pahrump, Nevada now. It is a quality town, guys. It is currently listed as the 366th nicest place to live in the United States. So it's going well there. It's one step above Plantation, Mississippi now. That's good. And I went there and I actually did a comedy show in Pahrump, Nevada. I did a one-nighter there. And when I walked in, I said, "Yeah, hi, I'm here for the comedy show." They said, "Oh, just check in with One-Eyed Gary." I'm like, "Oh, is that like his stage name?" They're like, "No, that's because his cousin shot him, so he only has one eye."
Okay.
That's the type of town that Pahrump, Nevada is, guys. That's the type of town Pahrump, Nevada is. I had a wonderful audience there. The front row, one of the guys had an ankle bracelet on. That's a good sign when you find out that somebody's on house arrest because they just got out of maximum security prison on parole 2 weeks earlier. And I'll be honest with you guys, when the person who has an ankle bracelet, tattoos all over his face, and has been out of maximum security prison for a couple weeks, asks if he can take the microphone, you give him the microphone. So Paul did 25 minutes to close the show, guys. I gave him my money too. That's how that. I think I got robbed. I think I got robbed in Pahrump, Nevada. I think that's what happened. Hey guys, like Annie was saying, I am going to be hosting Comedy in English, KO Comedy, every Friday night starting at 7:00. Usually I don't have tech roast comedy shows to do beforehand. So looking forward to seeing all of you guys. Enjoy the after party with Bianca. And one more time for all the comics you saw tonight, guys. Lauren, Dan Rosen. You guys can check me out at Michael Magid on all socials. I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Good to see you, Michael.
Everybody. Let's go. That was fantastic. And don't forget to follow him at Michael Magid over on Instagram. Free.
Yep.
It's great. It helps the algorithm out. So yeah, you guys, thank you so much. You guys, I do have one more shout out to give before we officially go away for the evening. So let's go back to the board. Here it is. All right, you guys. As you see, William Reynolds and Abigail H. Brown, thank you so much for your donations tonight. Also, thank you for your donations earlier in the month, including Sarah Green, Andre and Lorna, KO Fanonymous, and then now getting added to the board is Spooky Anonymous. Thank you so much for your $10. We appreciate you. Yeah, you guys. We're doing this again. We're doing this again next week. We do this every week, you guys. Everybody's welcome. But let's see. Next week, you guys, we're going to have Michael Magid back. He will be here for the whole show, hopefully. And he will be hosting Comedy in English. It's going down. Casey Conley will be here. Luz Michelle, Desiree Walsh. The after party will have Sarah Green and Lorna Batters. But you guys, we have tonight's after party first with Bianca Red. It's happening. We have so much fun for you guys in store for tonight. That's right, you guys. We've got trivia and camaraderie, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Come on through. You can find the link to the Zoom room over at kocomedy.com. Yeah, we're going to be over here. Is it over? Dan, you missed the show. That's okay, because we're going to have more. We're going to have more. We're going to have more tomorrow. We're going to have more on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're here all the time, Unknown. So thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, I think that's enough for me, you guys. I have been your tech tonight. I'm Annie Dies a Lot. I will see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Woo!